are Bleakswords, any good in patch 6.0.5. See, I automatically expect you to say no! That's okay. When I'm doing a unit focused, I'm looking at the good that the unit provides, not necessarily how it measures against others on its own side, but hey, let's take the good and the bad in stride and look how bleak these swords can be for your enemies, not just you. Hopefully. Recruited for 450 gold and 113 upkeep. On Ultra, they have 120 entities with 7,560 health between them. So that's exactly what we saw for Dread Spears. Likewise, 40 armor is paired with shields blocking 55% of small arms fire, legit missile tar pit levels. Leadership 66, speed 33, and charge speed 41 are identical. Melee attack starts at 36. This is vastly in excess of what we saw from the Dread Spears against infantry. Attack interval of 4.4 is a little tiny bit slower than mini sword infantry. There is no splash damage. Melee defense 32 is strictly mediocre, but that is to say, it's not bad at all. People tend to rip into it because Dread Spears have 42. Weapon strength comes at 32, split between base 25 and armor piercing 7. This is 4 more base damage than our standard measure, our lodestone of absolute mediocrity, the Empire Swordsman, does in its default form. Charge bonus is 16, which is not weak, and mass is 100. The unit has hide enforced and murder's prowess when it procs. That's it. That's all you get. The redline skills and text are mirror images of the Dread Spears. All focus on the redline. Line Breaker, granting plus 6 melee attack and plus 6 melee defense, is really good if you're willing to be that mundane, and called the Unworthy, adding 10 armor, plus 12% weapon strength, and 15% missile resistance is rock solid. I'll scroll through the text because they're shared with the last Dark Elf video, but while it's kind of mundane, the buffs are helpful and great building blocks for expanding your faction as a whole. So how do we use Bleakswords? While suffering in terms of reputation due to low health and comparison to Dread Spears, the offensive clout of this unit, while ordinary, is also above average. Put bluntly, they have a lot of bite against ordinary infantry opponents and a surprisingly powerful amount of total weapon strength. They exist to shrug off a fair bit of missile fire and tie down infantry, especially infantry with anti-cavalry capability. At that, they are entirely competent, consistent, and have very decent spines. In other words, there's a pretty large amount of the game that they're still fine against, at least as long as you understand they're only above average and thin-skinned. They are not elite, at least not until you give them Line Breaker and make them stupidly good at low rank. It's unwise to fill entire armies with them as if they're clan rats, but send them to wreck basic Beastman Spearmen? They'll win that more than lose it. So in essence, you're using them for anti-infantry because you can't or won't use other things in that role at that point in the game, like chariots or cavalry, because you don't want them to be the cavalry in Braveheart. That's the only real use of the Bleakswords long term, plus shredding whatever poor missile units they can catch. But every kill a Bleaksword gets helps your cause. Every single one. It helps, and you should feel no regret bringing a few to slice and dice the enemy front line. Take care and have fun sapping the morale of your foes through slaughter.